It's funny. Live 194 2104. What? I don't know what's going on here. Pretty sure I haven't been live for 194 hours. Oh, I was about to say, oh, it's raining. Finally, we get some rain in the UK, and it looks like it stopped. uh, we'll see what happens. Apparently, rain's come over the channel from France. Hello, Hermine. Hello. Yeah, it's just a bit of a chat, to be honest. We had we've got a little bit of rain. Could do with some more, to be honest. I'm hoping that it's going to rain properly. We've had a little smattering on the ground, basically. Hello, Hermine. Don Arnold. How you doing? How the garden's going? So basically, I'm just sitting in the shed, chilling, hoping for more rain because we need it, to be honest. Yeah, I wish it did fall on DJ, and the water in Malta don't look like it ought to. I thought the rain in Spain fell mainly in the hills, to be honest. It rained this morning, right? Well, we'll see what happens. I'm hoping that's not all of it, because I just started this live video hoping it would chuck it down on the roof, but so far very, very light. But yeah, I'm basically in the shed. Oh, there's the greenhouse. Yeah, it'd be nice to have some more. Everything is growing. We've got oregano and parsley, and the bamboo. Fuck's sake, the bonsai of the hornbeam is doing well. But yeah, I was hoping for a little bit more rain than that. I know it's stupid, really. It's been quite warm the last few days, and UK it's just been endless sun, endless sun. I mean, it's nice, it keeps the morale up, but we still need rain. And we had one day in April where I thought, oh my god, for the first time in years, April showers, like proper April showers. We had a day in April where we had showers, and not noticed that for about 20 years. Figs and the mulberry are doing great. Yeah, I mean, the garden here is doing pretty good as well, but just need water. We need rain, and I keep having to go to Springs. I keep having to go to Keston, and the last time I went to Keston was a complete disaster because I decided to take a diversion to a village called Nash, and of course one of my OCs is called Nash, and I decided, oh, I'll go check out this place called Nash. Of course, I got a full load of spring water from Keston, and then I made the mistake of going up a bridle path, and of course I got 3/4 of the way up this bridle path, puncture. I got a puncture on the cargo buggy, so one of my tyres has gone down. Watermelon seeds sprouting. Yeah, I've got some sunflowers on the go. Hoping to get some like popcorn corn plants as well. I mean, the sunflowers have started up, but everything is so behind in the UK because the beginning of the year was so cold, damp and dark. It's taken a long time to get anything started seed wise, and now that the weather is nice, it's too dry. Oh, but yeah, like I said, I went to this place called Nash. I got about 3 or 4 pictures of old houses, and I had a flat tire, so I ended up with a full load of Keston spring water and I must have walked about 2 or 3 miles with my weak left arm lifting up all the weight off of this flat tyre. So I made my way from Nash up North Pole Lane, then onto Lambs Road to the farm, and there's a garage there now, and they couldn't really help me. Oh, yeah, I don't really have the room. I've got a load of tomatoes. I've got loads of tomato plants and maybe peppers and chilies, but I've got no space in the ground to plant nothing. It's all pots. It's going to have to be all pots. Yeah. So it was grueling that day, me trying to take all this weight off the left side of the converted buggy, walking over Nash and Lambs, and then eventually I found myself at the entrance of Warbank, which is at the back of New Addington. And a woman came out in her car, and I said to her, "Can I get through here through Warbank to King Henry's Drive, because it's been years and years since I went through there?" She said, "Yeah, go through the gate at the end." Oh yeah, I've got a lot of tomatoes on the go, tomato plants, and I've still got more that need potting on. I've got loads of pots, and maybe not big enough for a full-size tomato plant, but we'll have to see. And then I found myself at Warbank near New Addington, and then I've not been there since the late 80s. My family, my mother, father and I used to go to boot sales there years ago, and there's a man in the bar that made the bar bigger. No tomatoes yet, it's way too early. Yeah, that rain didn't last, did it? I was hoping for a lot more rain than that. So it's just me talking ASMR. I would have preferred a bit more rain. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, Don Hermoine. Yeah, so there's me at Warbank. There's a social club there, and I was so exhausted. I think I got a pint of Heineken and just chilled. Big one, small one, some as big as your head, Don. Yeah, I know, I heard the story. Yeah. So there's me and the man behind the bar. He must have about 10 years on me, and we're just reminiscing about the old days. Back in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s. Bunch of coconuts. I don't have coconuts. I got a banana though. And the spring water, I'm surprised that the table in my living room hasn't collapsed with the weight of this banana plant, because it's getting massive. All because of this spring water. Oh dear, yeah. Sadly the rain has stopped. I was hoping for a lot more, but the last time we had rain it was just like a smattering on the ground and not much was achieved, to be honest. Yeah, it's been I've been quite stressed the last week, because as you know, I'm a green man. I'm a man of the outdoors. I like to chill. I like to escape and get out. And I decided about a week or so ago that I'll go to Addington Village, Lion Lodge. I don't know why this phone is saying 194 hours 13 minutes and 20 seconds. I've got no idea. Something seriously wrong there. What have I been live recording? My pocket. Oh dear. That does not seem right. Not right at all. Like I had a live and it failed, and then weird. Yeah, well, I've forgotten what I was saying now, but yeah, I went to Addington Village because I more than got my fix of the bluebells this year. I saw a lot of bluebells, and I decided I'd go to Lion Lodge at the back of Addington Village. And I got some pictures. I got loads of pictures. The woodland had gone, but there's hundreds of thousands of bluebell flowers. Yeah, the green man. Typo negative. I am the green man. Yeah, definitely. And then I got pictures of the bluebells and the slopes and a couple of deer. And then 2 days later, 3 days later, all I got the pictures of was all gone. The golf course had brought in 2 excavators and 2 tippers, and they literally destroyed everything that I'd just taken pictures of at the back of Lion Lodge. I was absolutely gutted and angry, but what can you do? £2,000 a year membership to a golf club, Addington Palace, and I went there on and off in the next 3 or 4 days, just trying to keep an eye on it. Rain starting up again, and it was upsetting, really was. And time before last, I literally had to go into the Spring Creek and pull brick clusters out and pieces of wood that are in the creek. And the last time I took a load of water bottles. So the last batch of spring water came from Addington Spring, not Keston. And thankfully they'd actually type O negative. I'm talking about the band. Yeah, I went to get water basically from interesting, I don't know about that. Yeah, I got spring water from Addington Spring this time. It's much closer to home, but getting into the site and getting out of the site is a bit inconvenient, especially with the weight and dragging this thing around. And it's an inconvenient slope next to a fence. But I've still got a little bit of the spring water from Addington Spring. But when I returned the last time, thankfully all the machinery had gone. But I'm very disappointed because I looked online and the whole of the Addington Palace site, or the majority of it, is a tier 2 site of archaeological interest, which means there is archaeology. It's under the ground. It's not visible on the surface, but it's there and it's intact. And yet the golf course just went through and destroyed the southeast corner for basically beautification. And it's really upsetting. And I'm not going to lie, but I've literally found evidence of ironworking that sends... I mean, they've got a 1700s established blacksmith at Addington Village, and they think that they've got another 200 years, 1600s, 1500s of history at Addington Village with smithing and forging. But I've found evidence that takes ironworking in Addington Village way back to the Iron Age. I'm talking about 1,000 years, maybe over 1,000 years. Crazy. I've literally found the Iron Age pot in the creek, because you got the spring, the creek, and then it disappears down the spout. Universal blood donor. Yeah. And rain started up again now. I think it was going to go to town now. But yeah. And what clinched it was there's a very small quarry next to the road at Spout Hill. And a couple of times before, I found carstone. Now carstone, Carrstone, is basically iron-rich sandstone. Now this can either be in big masses, big rocks, or it can be in layers, thin layers. Now I found layers of carstone in the sand and gravel on Spout Hill in the gravel pit. I don't know what my blood type is. I was quoting the band. But yeah, so hey, rain. So yeah, I've literally found the source of their iron in carstone. So what they done in the Iron Age, they ground down all of these iron-rich sandstone rocks. Hello! I think you might have been here before. Talking about the bonsais. Yeah, I've got a few going now. They're European bonsais, but Bangladesh in the house. Enjoying the rain. We've finally had some rain in London. And I'm currently talking about history, ancient history in a village some distance away. Ancient history. I found evidence of 1,000-year-old iron workings. Like I said, yeah, I haven't got the coffee downstairs, sadly, just a few biscuits, a few butter chocolate chip biscuits. But yeah, thanks for joining up. Yeah, I'm in the shed. Raindrops keep falling on my head. Yeah, as Don says. And basically what they had was a temporary chimney, an outdoor chimney. Now this would be made of clay or some kind of clay brick, and they'd make a tower chimney in the woods. And they'd fill it with charcoal. Yeah, I've got a few in the garden. I've started some up. All this talking. Yeah, I've started a few bonsais now, but they're European trees. Basically, they put the charcoal into this, what they call a bloomery, and then when they get up to certain temperature, then they put the sand and the iron-rich rock in. You're off, or well, it's not night here. it's evening, but thanks for popping in. And then they heat this stuff up, and eventually the byproduct is iron, and then they destruct the temporary outdoor foundry, and then they get the iron from it, and at the bottom you're left with a piece of slag at the bottom, a bloom, they call it a bloom, and it's got a rounded base to it, and it's uneven on the top. And I've found them on that site. So the site at Addington Village, it takes ironworking in that vicinity back 1,000 years, but they haven't done the archaeological study, and I've literally, through experience, I've found all this myself. It's crazy. I even saw the man working in the forge the last time I went to the forge, and it was open, and I was talking to him about it, and I asked him about it, and he said the same story. Like, their forge is 1700s, and there's documentation of forging or smithing in the area for another 200 years. And then I said, well, yeah, but I found evidence that ironworkings go back 1,000 years. I've found all the pieces of the puzzle that go together, but there hasn't been an archaeological study, basically. And by now it's probably too late because the golf course have decided to destroy a lot of it. Oh, my biscuit on the floor. No, I've not found any kind of tools, stone tools or anything like that. I have found a Neolithic or prehistoric flint knife. I was on the Thames. I was on the Thames River in London at Vauxhall, and I found a flint knife, black thing about this long, absolutely perfect it was. I still got it in the oddity cabinet in the gaff. So that is probably the oldest artifact I have, a Neolithic flint knife. And then I did actually find another one, again made of flint, but a much lower quality flint, and it was from Lloyd Park, which is just a tram journey away, Lloyd Park. And the tip was missing. It was shorter and the tip was missing, so I probably got about 2/3 of it missing the tip, and it was just on the surface where they'd done like an exercise station, pull-up bars or something, and they dug around it and they brought it to the surface. So I've got two, but this one particular one, very good, very good. I found it on the Thames foreshore at Vauxhall. So that'll be my oldest artifact. I think it's said to be about 10,000 years old. Yeah. But yeah, I'm quite disappointed with the golf course. I really am. I'll keep an eye on it, but even if I took a hand shovel, a silver-lined hand shovel, there's at least 20 to 40 tons of gravel and soil and butchered native British bluebells in the pile, as well as foxgloves. It's all in that pile. There's at least 20 to 40 tons of dirt. I can't move 20 to 40 tons of dirt. I can try and remove some of it from the hidden area. I called it the stream bank, but I don't have the energy, and I'm not in the mood for reducing the size of that pile. I also found, obviously, quite a few golf balls, and I've washed them up. We'll see if Tony P, my estate worker, wants any of them, because he does play golf himself, but not at these rich places. He has to go to the budget places. He likes fishing too, so I've got quite a good amount of golf balls for him to go through if he wants to choose any to sell, or we just get rid of them. But yeah, finally we have decent rain, and there's a lot of roof here, which is good. So the heavier it gets, it'll fill up that, well, it's not even a water butt now, it's a wheelie bin. I literally have a wheelie bin attached to the guttering because it's the only thing that I could find. It's pretty big, but we finally have rain. The plants are getting relief. Yeah, I wish I could zoom out. Oh, this clock saying 194 hours is a bit worrying. It really is. And I don't know why. It's like one of my lives failed. Maybe the one at Ashburton Park, and it hasn't stopped. Hopefully I won't be uploading something for 194 hours. See, I've got rhubarb here now. Finally these plants are getting some kind of moisture. Rhubarb. Alexanders. There's some shallots there. There's only a little clump of shallots. And the rescue grape is over there. The grape that I found at the side of the road. Parsley, oregano. We've got a lot of tomatoes. If I can find something to plant them in, got some late potatoes to go in as well, but I'll leave them in the rain to get a bit of moisture. So yeah, basically we're chilling. But if anybody else has got any garden news, fire away. Like I said here, it's mainly tomatoes, and I've got peppers and chilies upstairs. Cacti, I've still been watering the cacti with the spring water. I've got a ferro-cactus and it was budding up. Ferro-cactus stainzipylosis. And it looked like it was going to bud up and flower, but I think they've already dried out. It's the problem with cacti. If the conditions aren't completely perfect, they will abort, and I have been watering it, but for some reason the flowers appear to have just aborted on this cactus, which is a shame because I'd love it if that ferro cactus would flower properly. Maybe it's too hot in there or something, I don't know, in the sun. It's got windows and the windows open automatically. When the hotter it is, the windows open wider and close when it gets cooler. And I've got louvers at the back, but the problem is they're at the back and there's a fence there, so it can get out, but it's not going to be a draft of any kind. And I can't be here all the time to leave the greenhouse door open. But yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of cactus flowers. I mean, the gymnocalyciums don't seem to be doing much, but the echinopsis are very reliable. There'll be a lot of echinopsis flowers again, and noto cactus. Other stuff we'll have to see. But we've had showers. I just wish they were a bit heavier. And being it's raining, there isn't really a strong wind, but it being that it's raining, I don't know if we'll see Mecate, the tuxedo cat. It's a rare chance, but I don't think cats really like to be out in the rain, even though she is practically wild. It's not impossible that she'll turn up, but I doubt it with all this water on the floor. Oh. But yes, it is raining. Oh. See if we can do a bit of a wet walk around. You can see there's the rescue grape here. The rescue grape is here. It's very small, and this is bonsai. It's doing very well, and that's a hornbeam. I will cut it back in a month or two. I need to clip it back slightly. Lots of tomatoes. We've got lots of tomatoes. These are single and potted, so we've got a single plant in each. Well, no, there's one there with two again, and some just haven't been potted up, not got round to it, to be honest. There's a double again, but there's only so much you can do. You can grow it, but these ones were literally potted on into a bigger pot, but they need to proper grow. not just sit there doing nothing. Mint and the rosemary. And Tony P brought this Crassula ovata round, and I repotted it. Money plant or friendship tree. I replotted this Crassula. Again, more tomatoes, lots of tomatoes, and these lime trees, Tilia cordata or European lime. I literally dug these out of the ballast of Tramlink at 2 AM in the morning, and there's a few of these. Some of them may not survive, they may not have enough roots to keep them going, but and there's a fern in there. It's quite the tree nursery now, including more that will be bonsais and others that need planting, but it's too late now. I just got to get through the winter and then maybe plant them next season. I've got a cherry and an apple here, but hornbeams, pines, beech. I topped up the water bowl. Things are finally starting to grow up the trellis. We got this rose, hoping it will flower later in the season. If it doesn't flower this year, maybe next season. Perennial sweet pea. We've got perennial sweet pea, and hopefully I can train that to grow up the trellis. We have alliums. We've got alliums that will be flowering soon, hopefully. We've got buds on the alliums. We've got poppies, like we've got opium type poppy, as well as garlic. This is full of garlic. Lots of strawberries. We've got strawberries here as well. They're looking pretty lush at the moment. There's actually strawberries in here as well, but the herb Robert has taken over, so I've got to spend some time harvesting this herb Robert for teas, herbal teas. But there is actually strawberries in there somewhere. And this is salvia, second season. This salvia's come back a second time. Sweet peas, my mother's favourite. I had sweet peas here last year and they didn't do brilliantly, so I planted them again, and this is much better. I literally had to go to a shop and buy them in, because growing them from seed wasn't really happening. So when these sweet peas get a bit bigger, I'll find another trellis and I'll train them up a bigger trellis. So we're going to have a lot more sweet pea flowers this year. And here is the cuttings of the grape from 275 Addiscombe Road, and more of these have come up, have taken than I was expecting. I took 14 cuttings and 2 have been damaged by slugs or snails, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and about 3 or 4 ropey ones that could still do something. But these are old variety of white grape, and as you can see, my late father's grapevine, the black Homburg or black Hamburg, look at that new growth on the top there, and down the bottom we've got 2 or 3 new stems, one here, one there, and one at the bottom. That's doing very well. And the hydrangea petiolaris, the first hydrangea petiolaris that I've actually got to establish. This is just an elder, but the elder tree itself had a more purple colour, a darker purple colour, and this was rescued basically. And as you can see, there is a few flowers coming on this elder, and that's also good for herbal tea. And the snakebite maple's doing all right. We've got clematis as well. We've got 2 clematis here, different clematis plants. And as you can see, we've got some buds coming on these clematis plants. Again, lots of herb Robert at the bottom. I have to get rid of that clock. I thought it would work, but it didn't. And we've got a cutting from a rose here. We've got the cutting there that took, and that rose came from 275. But yeah, we've had a little bit of a lick of rain, probably not as much as I would have liked, but we've got lots of plants in pots, but not really much room to plant anything. Right, we'll try and go out the front without losing connection. We've got potatoes. We've got the first batch here. We've got potatoes here. This is the follow-up potatoes here. And we've got some even further behind here. So we've got 3 different series of potatoes here. These green bits next to the wall, the grape, yeah, lime trees. Now these strappy leaves are basically the bluebells that I did salvage some from that massive pile of dirt that the golf course left behind. So I salvaged some bluebells, and then I planted them amongst my new hedgerow. So I got hawthorn, hornbeam, there's an oak there, and then another hornbeam, and then we got a spindle. So I've literally put native bluebells in between all these. And yeah, and that's another black elder. The birch is doing well. It's just really airy and not really, it's not gonna look like it's got a lot till it's very open shade. And another linden tree, European lime, and it's a golden one. There's another rose cutting at the back near the wall, and I'm leaving it there. Feverfew, Erissimum wallflower. We've got a little yellow wallflower there as well. Sweet chestnut, and there's a lick of purple over there as well. There's a lavender down there, a little lavender, a French lavender. But the front is very untidy, because I haven't got round to cutting the grass, and I'll only be cutting a certain amount. We've also got a Wheatcroft rose there with buds on it. That's going to flower soon. And this holly, the holly is a rescue too. That was advertised on Facebook, and I picked it up. And this year that holly is finally starting to grow better. So we've got that holly and we've got that wheatcroft rose. But yeah, it's mainly paths and wood shit and junk. I need to cut up all this wood. I need to get recycled in or something. I need to cut up all this wood and take it upstairs and dry it. Yeah, lavender. I want pretty much every plant, but sadly I don't have the room here. But I've not done bad. I've not done bad really, considering what limited space I have. Tony P wants me to cut the hedges again, but I don't think there's any birds or nests in there. And what are the hedge I will do, I'll probably just cut it by hand with secateurs. It's the same with the ivy behind me. This ivy, I've found that the blue butterflies tend to hover around a lot. The tiny little blue jobby butterflies, they love the ivy. And then in the autumn, when the ivy flowers and there's a lot of nectar, that's when you get the red admiral butterflies and even wasps, sadly. But I'll try and cut some off of it, but I don't want to take too much off because it's good for insects and it's a nice habitat. But I'm teetering in a fine line of whether I should leave it or cut some back, to be honest. Yeah, what lavender can, hot and dry. Oh, we've got this sand here. It's actually probably builder's sand for concrete, and it's actually got little bits of stone mixed in. Now this was dumped in a pile not far from Arena tram stop, and that pile of sand and grit has been there for a couple of years. So I thought, sod it, I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna pick some of it up and use it to mix in with my compost. So if it is free, might as well take some. So I've got this sand here as well. But yeah, we've had a little bit of rain. We've not really had enough, but can hear great tit in the background. The wall is white. Everything is slowly growing up in front of it, and that's basically the whole idea, to have stuff grow up in front of the wall to keep the dustbins cool. Sadly, I lost one of the troughs. I had 4 troughs with Mexican stone crop, and one of them kept falling down. I picked it up, put it back, and it fell down again. There's just not enough room at the top of the wall. Yeah, to be honest, we've only really got this over the arch, and what little bit we've got in here, to be honest. But yeah, hoping that all this will grow up a bit more onto the trellis and keep the bins cool. That's Paddy at the bus stop. There's a continental lady, I think she's Asian or something, Panny, you can hear at the bus stop yapping away. Yeah, so yeah, was hoping for a little bit more rain. Hopefully I can get a new phone soon, but I think this phone is probably so overloaded with media and video and photos, I might even have trouble converting it all to another phone. It was stupid, really. But I need a new phone, really, to be honest. I'm having trouble charging this one up. The Bluetooth has died on it. Funnily enough, it's the first phone I've ever had that I haven't cracked the screen on. The screen is perfectly fine, but it just won't charge properly. And the back, the plastic on the back, literally keeps peeling off. I can peel it off. Yeah, we need a little bit more than this. Yeah, hopefully we'll get a bit more rain here. And soon, if I can get a new phone and the settings are the same and I can get into everything, I can do a normal video rather than just live videos. But I am worried about it saying 194 hours 27 seconds at the top. So I don't know if there's some kind of error. I don't know if this live will go up, but we'll have to see. It definitely feels fresher now anyway, thank God for that. Yeah, this one's having trouble charging. It takes so long to charge it that by the time I can't even watch Twitch streams now because it takes so long to charge it up. I'll end up back at the gaff laying in bed, and then I'll be watching in bed rather than earlier in the days. Because normally I'm watching streams and, you know, supporting people, but it's definitely a bit fresher. We need more though. We need more rain. I'd like to do a proper video, but I know that the internet is going to cut out if I go too far out the front. And if I had a brand new phone, I could just do normal videos, and the quality of the picture be really good if I can just do normal videos, which means I can go into more detail. But while I'm doing a live, while I'm doing live, I'm going to have that issue with maybe picture being ropey or dropping out. And I can't really show everything. And anyway, I've got to cut the grass out the front. I've got to get the strimmer out. Normally we do all the grass cutting on May Day, but I just couldn't do it. I didn't have the time. And I went over the allotment today, so that's what I done earlier. I went to the allotment and I managed to cut the grass on the paths with the hand mower, and that was a struggle because it's still pretty hot then. I cut the grass on the paths, so that's maybe a third to a half of the grass done. I also filled the pond up again with water, and I watered the youngest of the fruit trees basically. So, well, I've been over there at least. Yeah, another bumper crop of plums this year over the allotment by the looks of it, and hopefully the pear will do well again. It looks like the pear, if the fruits don't get all small, wrinkly and marked up, yeah, hopefully might have some pears again this year. But the apples, well, we're in May now and doesn't really seem to be much evidence of fruit on the apples yet. It's just been so dry. This is the problem. It's been very dry. So yeah, apples. The yellow Mirabelle plum. I think there is plums on the Mirabelle, the big plum tree, but I don't think there's as many as last year. There was a lot on it last year, most I've ever seen. But this year, but then again, you can't really tell until they're ripe and fruiting and falling off. It's very hard to tell on the Mirabelle. if there's much fruit on it or not, to be honest. But we'll see later in the year. I don't think there'll be as much as it was last year. But yeah, apple trees. The apple trees seem to have done very well in blossoming. The Egremont russet has had a lot of flowers on it. The L-star, there's an L-star one which has only got 2 branches. It's pretty much a 2-branch cordon. There's been a lot of blossom on that, and there may be apples later. There's also blossom on the red love, or it's a red apple, basically red in and out, supposed to be pink inside, and I got one of them. So we'll just have to see what the crop's like. We just need more rain. I know a couple of years ago we had a wet June, and because we had that wet June, crop was so good that year because of that wet June that we had. But we're going to need a lot more than this for any success. Also, at the allotment, I've got a wisteria that's sort of climbing up a pole, and then I need to fix up a better frame, to be honest. But that wisteria finally is starting to grow properly, and right at the bottom is one little wisteria flower bunch right at the bottom near the ground. So hopefully next year, I mean, if I can train it more. Yeah, red love, yeah, it's something like that. It's something called like red love, but I don't think they're telling the truth about the breeding. I think that it was originally one that was uncultivated, and they just named it George's Red. There's still a few about. I think they're late Victorian or Edwardian, and they're actually eater and cooker, but red. And I think that they just realised that they could graft this apple, put it on decent stock, and use it. So I don't really. I mean, it could be a new variety, but I'm suspect at it. I think it's just one that wasn't cultivated, and they've realised, oh, we can grow this because people like red apples. Yeah. But yeah, been over the allotment, and there's nothing in the greenhouse now, really. I mean, I've tidied it up, and it needs even more tidying up. Ivy is starting to invade into the greenhouse, as well as the passion flower. So I'm still going to have to tidy the greenhouse out a bit. But yeah, just I need to take the strimmer over there. I need to get the strimmer out the shed here and somehow persuade Tony to take me over the allotment, and then we can cut the grass with the strimmer, basically, because it needs doing. I've only been able to do the paths with the hand mower, and it's not an easy job, to be honest. It's not easy at all. In all these different places at once. Yeah, come on, let's have some more rain, come on. But as you can see, we've had a little lick. We've had a couple of showers, and things are growing, but they're not established enough to just point it out, and there it is. And I think the rain's gonna kick off again. But you can hear it, it's starting up again. Just a shame about the traffic, really, on the road. And roads are always a lot louder when there's rain on the road. Make your own juice from the red love at the garden centre, so you can juice them. Yeah, definitely going to have a bumper of plums, Victoria or dark purple plums at the allotment. Get the juice, red love juice at the garden centre. I'm surprised that they're that established and commercial enough to have enough of them to make juice of. I'm surprised that we're at the point now where there's enough of them that you can get juice from these apples. But it is trying to rain. Very light though, you can barely hear it on the roof. Oh, I suppose I could go in the greenhouse briefly, but you can see it is a bit damp. Tony P has sealed the front of the bottom of the door, so hopefully no water will get in that way. That's just the rain that's got over the threshold. Oh, cacti. They're doing well, but then that will be the spring water. See, Noto cactus Otanis, that's got a couple of buds coming now. Switzerland, eh? And finally this Herteri roseolutus, it looks like it's growing properly again. It was a bit marked up, but I think with all the spring water it's finally getting there. And this is a seedling of the same plant, Herteri roseolutus. It's got a bud on it. You can see that this Noto cactus has got buds on it too. And this parodia, there's a parodia here as well, and that's got little buds. So quite a few have got buds on. Look at this Echinopsis, lots of buds on. Daydream, red loves from Switzerland, Echinopsis Daydream. But yes, the spring water's been very good. Gin and lemon, Echinopsis gin and lemon, 1-2 plants. Echinopsis subdenudata or tufty. I'm hoping that this is Galaxy and it's going to flower. I think there might be some buds coming up on this. I think it's Galaxy. Echinopsis Lochinver. And this one is Infinity, I think. Spectre, it's actually Spectre, Echinopsis Spectre. We've got another Dark Melody here, so we've got Dark Melody with a couple of buds, and we've got the other half of the plant, because Fermium knocked the plant over and snapped it in half like the idiot he is. Unfortunately, I think the flowers are aborting. I might be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I don't want the flowers to abort on this Ferrocactus. I want it to bloom, but I've got a horrible feeling that it might not. We'll just have to see. I really want this to flower. Another gin and lemon. It needs repotting really. It's not very stable. Tony P's Euphorbia enolpa. We've lost a few plants over the winter. Echeverias, we've got quite a few Echeverias here. Some of them, and Graptopetalum, that are flowering. We're doing quite well. Echinopsis Pink Panther. Again, I've been trying to give them the spring water. And these are cuttings off of it, Echinopsis Pink Panther. I'm hoping these are also Oh, Galaxy, but I don't think they are. And these are cuttings taken off of Chamae Liberia Ragged Robin. I'm hoping these are Ragged Robin, but they don't have any buds yet because I lost the original plant about 2 years ago. Yeah, Pink Panther it's called, that one. Echinopsis Pink Panther, and these are all cuttings. And that's Chamae Ceres or Chamae Liberia Orchid Glow. And we've got a Cylindra Puntia there. Naturalised, we've got a naturalised Amaryllis here. And various other succulent plants that have got flowers on. And a spooky doll's head with a Puntia bulbispina in. Oreoceros trollii seems to be doing a lot better now. Again, spring water. So this trollii is doing quite well. Oreoceros. These are Tony P's plants. I've tried to keep them watered, but to be honest, I don't think they like strong sunlight, these aloes or Haworthias. And that's Tony's mammillaria. We've also got this Acanthocalisium violaceum, and this has got a lot of buds coming on it. You can see the buds. This has purple flowers. Acanthocalisium violaceum. Amaryllis, yeah. And we've got Notocactus magnifica. I can't see any flower buds. Well, there's one there. And this Ferrocactus hystrix that I've had for years. This Echinopsis Pink Diamond has suffered for the last 2 years because it's had scale insect, and I've tried to keep spraying it to get rid of the scale, and this year finally it got buds on it. And this is my favourite Echinopsis apart from Galaxy, and it is stronger. It's solid now. It went for a couple of years where it was very emaciated and soft because the scale insect were sucking the life out of it basically. But we finally have buds on Echinopsis Pink Diamond, and it's trying to grow again. Stenocactus. We've got various Stenocactus and a Turbinacarpus. And I'm going to repot this. I'm going to repot this one. Another Ferrocactus hystrix. And these were just cuttings of Mammillaria gracilis, the brown spine form. And they're doing pretty well. That's another Stenocactus coptogonus. We've got this as well. It's pretty slow. This is another one, to be honest, that needs splitting. We've got some young Rebutia Kaislingii, and they need splitting into different pots. But these are probably flower. These are probably quite reliably flower. Again, spring water has done them wonders. Look at this Euphorbia obesa. That actually lost its roots. It lost its roots and I had to grow them again, and now that it's got new roots it seems to be a bit happier. And I've had this, well, 2006. I grew it from seed in 2006, so 20 years old, this Euphorbia. See, I've got a couple of chilies or peppers there, and we've got a Selenocerius here that's beginning to grow again. and we've got 2 more seedlings of Euphorbia obesa, and aloes or Hallworthia, not quite sure. Is it Euphorbia Susannae, Euphorbia caput medusae, and there's a Aeonium there, and another, probably a Graptopetalum at the back, and another brown spine Mammillaria gracilis. Oh, the Christmas cactuses are now back in the corner of the greenhouse. It's shaded here for the hottest part of the summer, so I'll just keep spraying these and give them spring water, and hopefully they should be all right till the autumn. That one looks a bit papery, but I'm sure they'll recover. So these are the Christmas cactuses, or Schlumbergera. Hopefully these will flower for the winter. Coleus, we still got Coleus plants. I think that's a crashel, I'm not entirely sure what it is. We've still got some Coleus plants about. An Echinopsis, bog standard Echinopsis, Oxygona, I should imagine the majority of them, apart from this one that likes to offset profusely and not actually flower at all. And Mammillaria harnianas, we've got at least 4 Mammillarias. We've got different Mammillarias here. This one also gets the spring water, but it's a bit, yeah, it'll still grow, it's just untidy. Mammillaria Giselle, and that's looking to be a nice plant now. More of this Mammillaria, but in an old ginger beer, a piece of a ginger beer. Stuff it up there. This Echinopsis is another plant that suffered with the it suffered with the scale insect, and I had to keep trying to spray it, but it doesn't look particularly happy, although it does have flower buds coming on, and there is offsets pretty much everywhere. I don't know the variety name of it, but I got it pretty big from the British Cactus and Succulent Society Croydon branch. But hopefully it will continue to grow the pups and flower. It has lovely big flowers on this, very big flowers, and I've got pictures and it's been very impressive. These plants often get a little bit left behind because they're behind the door. We've got Echeverius here and a zonal geranium that probably needs water. Not entirely sure what these are. They keep coming up in my pots and I don't really know what they are. Cornflower maybe? It could be cornflower. This is Cineraria silver dust. I'm hoping that it roots. You see we've got another zonal pelargonium there. And this is supposed to be the corn or popcorn corn plants. One of them's coming up, so hopefully more will. This is the corner where the plants are slightly sicker, so they've been put into this corner basically. These plots are slightly sicker. And Gymnocalyciums, no flower buds yet. Hopefully they will bud up later in the season, because normally Gymnocalyciums, they're very free flowering and they're easy to grow, but just not really had much luck in recent years to Gymnocalycium monvillii. We've got Quailianum and Gibbosum. From 1993-94 I had that Gymnocalycium gibbosum and I still got it. It's probably my oldest plant here, that Gymnocalycium gibbosum. And this one maybe shortly after that, early 2000s, Gymnocalycium octotoni scaparium, but John Pilbeam said it was an invalid name. The agaves always seem to do quite well. Agave utahensis or utahmensis. So we've got lots of cuttings and different small agaves in pots here. Take a look at this Capaya Poa at the back there. See how it's growing. Oh, it's been in the shade. There is growth on it. Oh, that's promising. We've got new growth on this, but as you can see, it's another plant that has suffered a bit recently. I did go into keeping Capaya Poas at one point, but I didn't find them particularly easy, to be honest. This has been cut off. Now this trough I planted up and there wasn't really enough light or moisture for a lot of the plants. It really hasn't been watered much because a lot of the time it's been trapped behind junk, and I've only just managed to get rid of that rubbish, and I don't really have the water for it, to be honest. But we've got another Euphorbia obesa here. I'm pretty sure that this is Echinopsis galaxy. To be honest, I need to put it in its own pot. And another Agave utahensis. But that is about it. We've got this Ripsalis burchellii. It suffered in the winter. It didn't really like the cold in the winter, but now that it's warmer, it's a lot happier. This Ripsalis. So yeah, not doing too bad. I'm waiting for the flowers. There's going to be a good amount of flowers on the top shelves, definitely. I am trying to catch the rainwater, but I can't really do it with the greenhouse. I've done it the Japanese way here. I don't have plastic downpipes. I've found chain and I've literally hang chain down, and then I've got a lock at the bottom for weight. They do this in Japan, and sometimes they have something to catch the water at the bottom, so the rain runs down the chain. And it's the same this side. I've got a chain this side as well from the gutter. And this side of the greenhouse, it basically goes into this pipe. It goes into this pipe across and then down into a small soakaway, to be honest, because it would be too hard to put a water bucket or a tub here, to be honest. And I figured if I have the water drain into this soakaway in this shady position, it will be better for the rhubarb anyway. So that was my logic. It'll be better for feeding the rhubarb. But you mentioned catching water. Like I said, I've got a wheelie bin. And it just won't fill up quick enough, I'm afraid. And a load of crap has fallen into it. It really, really needs to fill up more, and then I can skim all that crap off the top. But it's all I can get at the moment. Yeah, it's a big wheelie bin. We just need more rain. That really wasn't enough, to be honest. There's the compost bin, and it's full up. It's literally almost full now. I've had fire ash in there as well. We've got all kinds in there. Some grass that I found, bags that are dumped, and I brought some grass over. But yeah, this is basically my water containing system at the moment, just in this wheelie bin. No, it's not enough rain. This is why I have to keep getting spring water, and I really can't get enough, even if I'd done 2 days a week, and it would be too exhausting for me to continuously get water. But you can see that everything is damp now. It's changed the landscape a bit now that it's a bit damper. There's another Norfolk Island pine here. I've hidden it in the shade. I've got 2 now. This is the original one. But I think I'm probably going to end it there, because we haven't really had enough rain for an ASMR. Yeah, so I'm probably going to end it there, and I'm hoping that something hasn't gone wrong with YouTube, because old pump, yeah, it's for some reason my phone says 195 hours. I don't know what's going on. Oh, technology, and coverage, internet, bad, everything is bad. We're living in the Stone Age. We've got all this alien technology in our hands, and yet none of it bloody works properly. Stupid, isn't it? But yeah, hopefully we'll get more rain. We need more. This isn't really enough, to be honest. And I've got to do a few little bits in the garden, and I've got to go upstairs to Fermium. I've got to say hello to Fermium. Oh, anyway, thanks to Don Arnold and the Bangla, I think they're a bonsai person, and Hermine for joining. Thanks for sticking with me. And I'll probably catch you on the next video, whether it's a normal video, I don't know, or another live. It could be another live, I don't know, we'll have to see. But I'm gonna knock it on the head now, because I've got a few bits to do out here, and I've got to go up to Fermium. Oh yeah, I've had to start yeah, I've literally had to start with a dustpan, gathering up all the cellulose paper insulation from up in the loft, in between the girders on top of the ceiling on the first floor. I've literally had to start bagging this stuff up myself, because it needs to be done, and I'm the one that's allergic to flipping dust, and I've got to do it my bloody self. Luckily I've got a ventilator upstairs, and I got it for basically graffiti art, but I've not done any. I've been so busy doing other stuff, I've not really done any graffiti, to be honest, and the paint's so expensive now, I don't really have the time. So I'm using the ventilator for basically protecting myself from all the dust and stuff from all that cellulose insulation upstairs as I bag it up. So yeah, starting to work in the loft. I haven't seen or heard much from Tony P. We have the luxury of an old pump that I can use. It could be that's been there for over 100 years. Working during both wars, you got a proper pump, like a hand pump. You actually get clean water out of this hand pumping. Those were the days, flipping heck. I'm sure I know where there's a literal hand pump in Beckenham next to the river. Flipping it, and it's literally been buried in the compost at the soil at the side of the river. You can see the top of it sticking out. So whether it's just been taken from somewhere and left there and dumped, and then the soil built up around it. But yeah, if you've got a pump and it pumps up, yeah, clean water, that's good stuff. Good stuff. Well done. You're lucky. You're very lucky. I have to keep getting spring water. I can tell the difference now because I've been on the Keston spring water and maybe the Addington spring yesterday. But I went over the allotment and I had some water from the tap and oh god, oh, you can tell the difference immediately. The chlorine comes right out. Oh, I'm so used to that spring water now. And I've done the fireplace upstairs and I've got the gilly kettle, so if I make any tea upstairs I'll basically use the gilly kettle now. Tap, bottle or pump water for fun. Yeah, well, you're lucky if you've got the facility to pump water and it's clean. Yeah, great stuff. But yeah, it's a bit fresher now, thank God it's a bit fresher now. Think I heard a robin or a wren, probably the robin. They definitely prefer the freshness. I prefer the freshness. It's been too warm and too dry for too long. Anyway, I'm going to end it here. I'm really worried about it saying 195 hours. I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, it may or may not go up, or I may do another live and it'll keep going up and annoy me. We'll have to see. My mum's friend wanted pump water. Well, if it's clean. Anyway, thanks Hermione for sticking with me. I'm gonna end it here because I've got a few bits to do and then I'm gonna go upstairs. But thanks for joining me. So DJ signing out. Oh, I'm gonna end this and hopefully something happens. I don't know what's going on here with this 195 hours. That's bizarre. See you, Hermione.